just met this man a few months ago via email, and he is effing brilliant. Can I say effing? I mean, comedy with no boundaries. He's a motivational speaker, a comedian, an actor. Brett Eastburn. Brett!
Hello, hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hey. Oh, I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. I had a mohawk earlier, and I colored it, and then when I cut it off, this is what was left over.
Very nice, very nice.
Well, I had really poofy hair because I did a skit where I was Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I started growing it because of COVID. I knew I didn't have to go anywhere.
Right.
And by the time it grew all the way out, summer hit and it got really hot. And I still wasn't as long as the Colonel's hair actually was. Yeah. And it was so hot. So I did the film really quick, and then we just buzzed the sides right off.
Oh my God. So you finished the film with the Colonel Sanders?
I just did a 2-minute thing on Facebook Live. You can see it on my Facebook.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I could definitely see you as Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, I got the coat and everything, the tie.
Oh, how cool.
And he was a Kentucky colonel. And he's got a little pin that he wears all the time, Kentucky colonels.
Right.
Well, I'm a Kentucky colonel. I probably have to renew. You have to donate every year to stay one, but I'm on the list. And I was nominated many years ago down in Kentucky. And so the older I get, the more I want to try to do that character.
I love it. Yeah. I'm going to have to check that out. I was like looking through all your stuff, and what was so nice is I was watching, what was it? It was a piece on Channel 13 News, a hard act to follow. Oh my God, what an amazing piece. And I completely just got away from what we're going through now. And your comedy is so refreshing, so real, so identifiable. Especially, I loved it when the nail joke you were telling. I love that because we all bite our nails.
Oh, God, I used to chew my nails. It turned chronic.
Oh my God. It was now, and then you have that label, I'm not missing anything.
Very true. I don't think that I am. I was born without arms and legs, but who says that I have to have them?
Right.
Is that you giving thumbs up?
Yeah, other thumbs up. I like that other joke that you said. It's like I'm not going to ruin your jokes here, but they were so brilliant there. Now, you're an accomplished swimmer. You were on the wrestling team, baseball, football, basketball, green belt in martial arts. What is your favorite sport?
Well, somebody's been reading my bio.
I have. It's
my favorite sport was wrestling because it was close contact.
Yeah.
And I don't know, in the beginning, have we told anybody that I don't have arms or legs?
I don't know if we've told anybody that.
I don't know if I can back up. Well, if anything, I've got my little...
Your shirt! Your B shirt! I saw that. I love that.
Yeah, we were making... I wanted to make a picture of me to put on my T-shirts. And when we threw it up there to do the cutout, it did a silhouette. And the moment I saw it, I was like, that's it! That's my symbol.
Yeah.
My old symbol for No Boundaries Incorporated is a handicap symbol with the circle with the line through it.
Oh, right.
Okay. I know, but this is more like a squishy symbol.
No, I love it. I love it. I saw that on your website, and yeah, I want to get one of those. And I looked at it, and I love the word "be" because but I went "be me." That's where I went in my head.
Okay. I was really hoping people would.
Really?
And I was thinking about putting a little word above my head, like just be. And it's actually just be who you are, be who you want to be real. But it's also my initials, Brett Eastburn. So
See?
I can pretend I was being all deep and stuff when I put it on there.
Well, see, no, I really do have COVID brain or whatever, quarantine brain. Others say that. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's,
that sounds better than COVID brain.
I know. It's like, no, I don't want that. Oh God. Um, so you're an author? How many, tell me about what you've written.
I just so far one book called I'm Not Missing Anything.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, I do an hour-long motivational presentation and an hour-long comedy show, and both of them you really kind of get to know me. It's really just the best of Brett where I've polished it.
Yeah.
And half the jokes I wrote sitting around a bonfire, you know, I'd say it, and if the whole group laughed, I just wrote it down and tried to figure out how to transfer it to the stage.
Yeah.
You know, because there's an art to that.
Yeah.
And the book for me was to tell you everything else I couldn't tell you in that hour.
Okay.
So to kind of back up the theories that I talk about, and lots of stories about growing up and just how I've dealt with life and how I've enjoyed the entire process.
Yeah.
Like I like to set goals. We love to achieve them, but I really try to pay attention to enjoying the route, enjoying the whole process of getting to that goal, instead of just being focused on, oh, I didn't get to that goal today. Well, what did I accomplish today, and did I have fun doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot in there, and there's extra photos in there. I had to fight with the publisher to get those in.
They didn't
I actually
want
went,
photos?
do what?
They didn't want photos?
Well, they were saying it's too many. Just too many. Well, here's the funny part. I went through 3 publishers before I found the right guy, because the first sentence in my book is, I used to chew my nails.
Yeah.
And it turned chronic. And then I go on to explain that a little bit. And I had 2 publishers like, we're not going to start a book that way. That's not normal. I'm like, what part of my book is normal? I'm literally like, you guys aren't getting it. You're not. If you guys don't want to put that in there, you're not getting the book at all.
This, this even makes me love you more because of your focus of what you wanted, and you stuck to what you want, which is great, because that made me like, I thought that was brilliant, because there's a lot of people who chew their nails, but then when you say it, it takes it to another level, and it's like, oh yeah, and then I picture myself, God, if I do it too much, maybe that'll happen to me. But I went with your comedy on that. I loved it.
Yeah, and it's me too. That's how I usually like to start meeting somebody with something fun or humorous. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was totally me, and everybody that's read the book got it. So.
And exactly what you said to them. Normal. They said normal. It's not normal. Oh, almost said, like, the fuck normal, right? It's like, what is normal? I can say that because Dee said some fun stuff on her show. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, did you see that one? Isn't it? Yeah, she's great. But it's true. It's like that word. I don't know about that word.
Well, I think normal people scare me.
Exactly.
They're trying to be normal.
Oh, that's why that quote is there too. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're really normal, you're trying too hard to be normal, I think.
There's my Yoda thing again. Where's my Yoda? Oh, it's back there. Do. I can't. Do or do not. There is no try.
Correct. Did you need your glasses to read that? Was that the problem here?
Every year something else goes out.
Well, at least I won't have knee trouble as I'm getting older.
Oh my God, right? Oh my God. And what is so, again, I'm using this word refreshing about your comedy, because sometimes I watch comedians and I laugh inside and I'm going, oh, that's funny. But with you, I was watching what you were doing throughout the many videos that you had, and I was laughing out loud, and I realized that I did that. And I don't always laugh out loud. I mean, Kathy Buckley, I laugh out loud all the time. And Robin Williams, of course, he pee my pants, you know. But I was listening and I was laughing out loud watching you. And what's so nice and refreshing is that from what I saw, you didn't need to swear. I mean, you probably do during some of this stuff. I don't know. I didn't see that part. But so many comedians are like, you know, this and that and that. And you were so about the story and the, you know?
If I cuss during a set, it has really got to be like an exclamation part,
Right.
and it can't be the punchline.
Yeah.
You see a lot of comics where they just, because it's a shock word, it ends up being the punchline, and I don't have any jokes like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a secret that I use to keep a joke in the show is if my wife, you know, she's seen it thousands of times, and she laughs every time. You know, so you know it's a good joke if whoever's with you just keeps hearing it over and over, and you just laugh every time. That's like a good movie. You want to watch it over and over.
Yeah.
Same thing with a good joke.
Well, and this is to the next part too about acting, because what I think makes you so good and so funny is because you're just there. You're real. You're just saying it, you know, is you like, you don't do the funny thing, you know, you're just like, especially when you came on for that first moment, and I'm not going to go through your whole act because I want people to go see you live, you know, when we can.
Well, you're not going to do it. You're not going to give as much justice as I'm going to, so you can explain a little bit. They're still going to want to watch it.
Thank you for that. No, it is true. It is true.
Unless you got a chainsaw in there somewhere.
Oh my God. Very funny. Um, see, now I'm with you, and what was I saying? See, this is, I'm so glad we're doing this because, especially during this time, we need to find releases and reliefs. And it's real comedy like this that really gets us out of our heads, get us out of our worrying, get you know, the tension in our neck. And how do you tell, like, if somebody is stressed out or tensed? I mean, being a motivational speaker, how do you help people?
Well, if I sense that, I just try to make light of it. Alan Alda did Hawkeye on MASH, and I grew up watching that show. It's my favorite show. And that character, when the shit would hit the fan, he'd say something funny and just make it easier to deal with. And so I've kind of just done that my whole life. So I try to make them giggle. And I mean, I've had people in really bad situations, and I still make them giggle.
Oh my gosh! No, why
Or
was that?
My favorite is at the hospital when they're in a lot of pain, and I make them giggle, and they're like, "Don't, that hurts." I'm like, so I keep telling more jokes. I don't know. I find that funny. I like when people spit out their drink. I've actually, now this wasn't on purpose, but I had somebody go into a seizure from laughing too hard in my show. We literally, she's on the floor. We for like 8 minutes. We got her back up, and then she's like, "Do you want to leave?" She's like, "No, put me back in my chair." Went at it again.
Well, you know, that's interesting too, how they say comedy is healing. And so you're there in the hospital and somebody said, oh, but sometimes they say, you know, if you're going through a certain kind of pain, it's a healing. So I truthfully believe that comedy is healing, and laughter.
That's been my theory my whole life. Yeah. Very true.
What would I mean, this is for, of course, everybody on the internet, but it focused at Performing Arts Studio West and Meet the Biz. What would you tell any comedian watching this right now, the focus or the step to get out there and doing it?
Oh, like if they came to me and go, I'd like to try to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do a workshop, and I just like write 3 jokes, make sure they're yours. You know, it has to be you.
Yeah.
And write 3 jokes, bring them in, and you say it in front of whoever it's usually other comedians. And my wife, she's a good judge of comedy.
Yeah.
and you just tell them, and we give you our natural reactions. It's hard to tell jokes to other comedians because a lot of times they won't laugh.
Right.
So if you see a comedian with a real serious face go, "That's funny," it really is funny because they won't say it if it wasn't.
Because they're just jealous that it's a good joke.
Well, and in the workshop, you do the same jokes every week and so a lot of times they've heard it 3 dozen times, and it's hard to laugh at it. But they're the worst crowd ever. It's just a room full of comedians, and they can enjoy the jokes, but they just don't laugh out loud because they're being serious about listening to the joke.
Right. Right.
So,
So what?
write 3 jokes, bring them in, you work on it,
Yeah.
and always have a notepad, or there's notes on your phone now.
Yeah.
Let's see how they go. Bill Cosby told Jay Leno. Jay Leno told Dave Coulier, and Dave Coulier told me to always take notes, always have notes. And so when I'm with friends or even new people I just met, and I say something funny, I'm like, "Hang on a minute, I got to write that down."
Yeah.
And you just write down the premise enough to remind you, and then you go back and then try to polish it later. But usually, if you can get 3 or 4 people to laugh at the same time, it's worth considering to try on stage later.
Right. Now, have you, I mean, before we were in quarantine, have you traveled all around the United States or
Yeah, coast to coast, Japan, Okinawa, Panama, Switzerland, Aruba. I'm actually famous in Aruba
I love this.
to the locals because I did every school there, and then I was on every media outlet the whole time I was there.
Right.
And I was there 3 weeks total, 2 trips.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'd go somewhere and I'd get paparazzi, and I'd have to hide, and like literally I'd go somewhere and 5 minutes later somebody would call the paparazzi and they'd pop up taking pictures of me drinking a soda.
And I love how your straw matches your shirt.
That wasn't intentional.
Well, oh, yes, there was something, when you're like, oh, what did I think? What did I think? There's this moment of pause. I'm going back just for a second. Why was MASH? Here's the first part. Why was MASH your favorite show? And the second thing, who was a comedian or comedians that you grew up going, God, I want to do that?
MASH was just about people trying to stay sane in a bad situation, and just to do the best they could to make it a good situation or as best as possible.
Right.
And so that's my life. Is a lot of people have told me, poor guy. You wouldn't believe how many people have come up on the street and told me they felt sorry for me. And I'm like, for what? And I don't usually say this, but I'm like,
yeah,
I've been more places in a weekend than you've been in your life. But that sounds a little conceited, but they feel sorry for me. And I'm like, how far have you been outside your state? And they go, well, I went to the state just north of us, but that's it. I'm like, I've done 16 states in 14 days. So why are you feeling sorry for me? I get around and have a good time. And
yeah. What do you think that's about? Why do you think people do that?
That they feel sorry for me?
No, not necessarily you, but why do people with who see somebody who might be a little different go there?
I think they just try to put themselves in that position, and they can't possibly fathom enjoying life without limbs, for example. And so empathy, they just want to say, I feel sorry for you. And I'm not sure why they say it, because do they really believe that's going to make me feel better? Because it doesn't. It just makes me go, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
I got a nice house, beautiful wife, my own career, no boundaries incorporated. I travel the world. And even just doing comedy, I inspire people and help people to realize their own potential. So I'm digging life. So there's no reason to feel sorry for me. But I've actually had older ladies, elderly, I don't know how to say it politically correct,
right,
but when I was younger, when I was, I'd say under 20, usually in my teens,
Yeah.
I was just sitting on a street corner waiting for a bus or whatever. I've actually had elderly ladies come up and like tuck a 20 down my shirt collar.
Oh my God. Well, then you stood up and started saying, "Hey, I danced too."
I get out of my chair, start breakdancing. But no, I let them do it because
Yeah.
I heard a comedian said once that well, they're just trying to get into heaven. Let them have it, and you can use the $20, right? So if it
Sure.
makes you feel better to just walk up and hand me a 20, more power to them. But
Right.
they're doing it for the wrong reasons, but they don't think they are.
Yeah.
So I don't care. If you want to give me money, just give me money. That's fine.
Right. Uh,
That's for
uh,
anybody. From now on, if you see me, just give me money.
there you go. Well, listen, one thing that's connected to that was one thing that you said. I love to get the crowd to get a preconceived notion about me so I can change their mind about
It's a good educational tool. I think it's more educational if you did get a preconceived notion, and then within 10 minutes I shatter that, so you're gonna remember it a lot longer. So, and it's fun to watch the you can see it in their eyes, like a whole crowd, 300 people,
Yeah.
and you can watch them just the look in their eye change how they felt about me from when they walked in the room.
Well, and again, I'll go back to that joke that you started off with, how you got up on stage. There was this quietness, this, you took the time, you took that moment before, as we learn in acting class, or to be in that moment before. Be. now I'm gonna, whenever I say that, I'm gonna think of your name.
Awesome. That was the goal.
Oh, but and then you took the time, and it's like, and then you went into that joke about biting your nails, and it was like completely boom, boom. It's like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then
I feel sorry for this guy. So this guy is cool.
yeah,
Some have said awesome, and it doesn't take them long to realize that I'm actually enjoying the whole process of life, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing.
yeah, yeah. And you did it like that quick.
I've had years to polish that though, so
And
I've been doing it since I was a toddler.
not from what your mother said, you were in the womb doing it, but no, I haven't met your mother, so I know I tried to do a joke there. You see, I'm not a stand-up.
I grinned a little.
Oh, okay. I got a grin. Well, better than that. Okay. What was that other thing? Oh my God. Well, what's your biggest joy in life?
Again, just being on the road, meeting new people, and knowing that occasionally I can inspire somebody to realize their own potential.
Yeah.
And my wife goes with me a lot of times, so we just enjoy the road, and I just love meeting new people. Usually if I'm home for 3 weeks, I start itching to go back out. And if I'm on the road for 3 weeks, I kind of want to go home for a minute. But yeah, if I'm home about a month, I'm like, time to hit the road. So imagine this year.
Oh my God. Yeah. How are you dealing with that?
Chewing my nails too much.
Oh, okay.
Just we've got good friends next door, and we've just the local neighborhood just kind of hunkered down. And now, is that wine there?
No, it's lemonade in a blue glass.
Okay, because I was gonna say alcohol has helped a little. If I had known this was coming, I would have invested in liquor sales. That's for sure.
I tell you, now they could deliver it to your door.
Oh, now we got a thing going around here where it's a club where you put your address down, and then people can just decide to bring you liquor and leave it on your doorstep. You haven't heard that one yet?
No, I haven't heard that.
Maybe that's out. Maybe that's a Midwest thing. It'll get out there. It'll be about a month.
Yeah.
Driving around, I used to have a CB a lot, and you could hear a joke, or I've actually told a joke, and I've heard like 2 weeks later it'll go down, hit California, and then come back.
Yeah.
From CB to CB. I've actually heard it go through the grapevine and come back.
Right. Right.
That's just information you don't really need to know.
No, I pictured you in the truck, Breaker 19 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking to CB and drive and
yeah,
eat a sandwich all at the same time.
Now, do you have an agent? Do you go out and for movies and TV? And
I don't have an agent yet. Looking for one.
my God, after they see this, somebody's going to snag you up. I mean, they should have snagged you up before. I'm in shock because that was the other thing when I was watching some of the pieces on your website, on the internet. I was going, God, I could see you in so many different roles. And again, it's it's your initials. you do that. You just be.
I think one of my problems is I wasn't actively looking. I should have been doing that years ago. And I think that's how I met you, is I went out to LA and I just started really trying to find somebody that, would click with me on getting some work done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get out there, and as soon as all this goofy stuff's over, I want to be back on the road.
And you will be.
Yep.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you for visiting. I mean, I can't wait to see your show on HBO or wherever you get a Netflix or something, because you're really like one of my, you're in my top 10 now of comedians. I really think you're marvelous.
Oh, well, thank you. I got another clip I'll send you later.
Oh, great. I love it. Yeah, I could add it either at the beginning or the end of the interview.
Well, I'm turning in some video auditions for something big, and I dug up this video. Did you do Fingers Crossed?
Yeah. Oh, are you making me feel guilty?
Yeah. I'm totally messing with you. People are like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, don't be sorry. You're just setting me up. I actually had a friend in school for years. We were like 5 years in school together, and then we were in a hurry to go somewhere at my house, and I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot my shoes. And they're like, I'll get it for you. And they ran back to my room. And then they came back. I can't find it. I go, you know what? They're under my bed. So they ran back to the room, look under the bed. Not there. He come back. It's not under the bed. You know what? Behind the door. And he's like running in the back, and he just stopped dead in his tracks and came back all mad at me because I made him go 3 times to look for the shoes. And he's known I didn't have shoes since, last 7 years.
Oh my God. Well,
and I make people feel a little at ease, and when you're around me long enough and I do what everybody else does, you really forget.
Yeah.
I don't have hands or feet. And so it's easy to pull that on somebody after a while.
So I used to chew my nails. I'm not kidding, dude. It's electronic. It's horrible. It's like... My mom tried to warn me, if you chew your nails too much, you can hurt your cuticles. She didn't say anything about my elbows. All right, we're having fun tonight, I can tell you. You guys are a good group. I give you guys thumbs up, but I might hurt myself. Yeah, hitchhiking didn't work for me either, you know what I mean? Sitting alongside the highway. I can sit out there for hours or days. The car just keeps flying by, That was funny, like... Can't get in trouble for that one, can I? Years back when I was in schools, the teachers thought I was waving at them.